After like 30 years of not posting anything, I'm back to talk about Six Flags. Specifically the Six Flags Cedar Fair merger. This merger officially went through in 2024, and since then, Six Flags has removed over a dozen attractions, including Kingda Ka, announced the closure of Six Flags America, forced their CEO Richard Zimmerman to step down, and most recently, started charging extra for their haunted houses at the old Cedar Fair parks. So yeah, when I first heard about this merger, I was honestly pretty excited. I thought Six Flags was going to be more like Cedar Fair. If you don't know, Cedar Fair owns some of the best regional parks in the US. All of these parks right here. They're usually considered better maintained, better run, and overall like a huge step above Six Flags. So when the merger was announced, I figured Cedar Fair would raise Six Flags' quality. What I didn't expect was Six Flags to drag Cedar Fair down with them. The merger officially completed in July 1st, 2024. Cedar Fair and Six Flags became one company under the name Six Flags. Let's be honest, most people do not know what Cedar Fair is. Six Flags just has way better brand recognition, even if that reputation isn't very good. After the merger, Six Flags CEO Salim Basul stepped down, and Cedar Fair CEO Richard Zimmerman took over. But by 2025, Zimmerman himself was out too, which after the decisions he made this year seems like the right move. For the 2025 season, Six Flags introduced an all-park passport, which is an add-on for about $150 on top of your regular $100 season pass. So basically most people were paying $200 to $300 to visit multiple parks. This year though, things are more reasonable. A prestige pass is $145 and a gold pass is $100. Both get you into all 40 plus parks with a ton of benefits. Honestly, that's a step in the right direction. Plus, the Six Flags gold pass is on sale right now till I think September 2nd, I believe. But the gold pass is on sale for $60, which is just 9 Big Macs. So just stop taking your ass to McDonald's so much and buy a Six Flags gold pass. Trust. Okay, rides. Here's a good thing. We did get some awesome new additions. Wrath of Rakshasa. Wrath of... Alright, looks like we're just gonna have to sound this one out, right? Rakshasa. Alright, listen, it's not my fault. I can't say whatever this is, okay? It's a new ride, that's what matters. So it's a B&M dive coaster at Six Flags Great America. They also introduced Flash Vertical Velocity, which finally opened after standing dormant for a year at Six Flags Great Adventure. They also opened Siren's Curse, the first Vekoma tilt coaster in the US at Cedar Point. Georgia Gold Rusher, a water half-pipe ride at Six Flags Over Georgia, which honestly, I haven't heard anything about that ride. I don't know how it's doing. I don't know how people like it or not. So if someone's written it in the comments, let me know, because I'm honestly curious. Rapterra, a B&M launch wing coaster at King's Dominion, which was Volcano's replacement, and Quantum Accelerator at Six Flags New England. Though of course my home parks ride got delayed until 2026. Of course it did. So yeah, exciting stuff. But then there's the bad news. Closures. They've closed a ton of rides, and I mean like big, like these aren't like small, like big rides. They closed a lot of big rides. At Great Adventure alone, they closed Kingda Ka, Zoomin' Green Lantern, the Parachutes, Twister, and the Sky Ride. At Six Flags Magic Mountain, they closed the 400-foot Superman Escape from Krypton, though the drop tower is still open. I actually did see a video of the of Superman Escape from Krypton, where someone just like walked in the queue line and they can just see the rides collecting dust just sitting there. There was no reason to close it, except they just didn't want to pay for it anymore. Again, with no notice. Really annoying. At Six Flags Over Texas though, they closed El Diablo and La Vibora. At Carowinds, they closed Nighthawk. At King's Dominion, they closed Anaconda. Most of these rides, like I said, closed with zero notice, like Kingda Ka. They just pulled the plug without giving anyone a final chance to ride the world's tallest coaster. And this year would have been its 20th anniversary. That's just tragic. While on the subject, Six Flags also announced Six Flags America is closing November 2nd of this year, which honestly isn't super surprising, and I wouldn't be shocked if more underperforming parks follow. They've got way too many parks to manage efficiently. So other cost-cutting moves they have made is selling off excess land near King's Dominion. Kind of a random pull, but something I found while researching this video. They're also laying off 10% of their full-time staff and replacing local park presidents with regional managers. They have also made some guest experience changes, so to be fair, not everything is bad. Six Flags has been upgrading some of their flagship parks. For example, at Six Flags Over Georgia, they've improved theming, guest experience, and Georgia Gold Rusher even came with themed food and drinks. Some rides are getting extra effects like fog and lighting, so they're trying. Also, Flash Pass is being phased out in favor of Cedar Fair's fast lane system, rolling out chain-wide in 2026, which is great because Flash Pass sucks. If you know what Flash Pass is, you know just how bad it is. All right, now the profit and financials. This is where it gets honestly kind of sad. So in Q2 of 2025, Six Flags reported a $100 million loss compared to a $56 million profit the same time last year. Now, you don't gotta know numbers too well to know that's really bad. But attendance also dropped 9%, which is about 1.4 million fewer guests. In-park spending also dropped as well. July this year saw an amazing comeback with a 1% increase in attendance, which is like great. So should we be worried about Six Flags' future? Honestly, maybe. They're losing money. Disney and Universal are investing billions, which Six Flags can only dream of investing that much. And Six Flags is out here removing rides people love. But at this time, they're adding exciting new rides, restructuring, and trying to reset their parks. Mergers always come with short-term difficulty. It might be painful for now, but if they do it right, it could be long-term gain, which is good for us. Keyword if on that one. So that's where Six Flags stands after the merger. Lots of new rides, lots of painful closures, money issues, and a company that's basically trying to reinvent itself. Feel free to comment what you think. Is Six Flags doomed or will they pull it together? I don't really know. Probably not.